Back to Governor Ducey's order requiring in-person learning for schools later this month. It's getting a cool reception in some minority and low-income neighborhoods. Numerous polls show parents of color are much more worried about the risks than white parents in more affluent areas. Our Steve Irvin asking why and what solutions could be out there.
In the Tempe Union High School District, kids will return to class in just days. But when school board member Burdetta Hodge hears concerns from parents, it is more often from parents of color.
So I do see that it's a lot of our minority students and our lower income students that are hesitant about going back to school. A lot of it is because they don't have the health care.
Stephanie Parra sees it in the Latino community too, working with the All In Ed Foundation.
These families have also disproportionately experienced the trauma of the pandemic. They have been infected at higher rates. They have lost family members at higher rates. We have to ask ourselves, what is their family circumstance? And it will look different.
In February, an Axios Ipsos poll revealed a racial divide as parents weighed concerns about returning to school in person. 55% of blacks and 40% of Latinos were extremely or very concerned about reopening schools too quickly. But just 25% of white parents felt the same way. Why? Minority leaders say it's about the unique struggles of living in poverty.
Children of low-income households are thinking about more than just school. They're thinking potentially about where their next meal is coming from. They're thinking about their security, right? Their home. They're thinking about how to provide for their families. As young as 3, 4, 5 years old, kids in our program are translating for their parents. They become providers for their families.
Education is a huge component in all of this. Language barriers and mistrust of the vaccine run rampant in Black and Latino communities, sometimes for very good reason. But local leaders say there is one way to rebuild that trust, by bringing the vaccine to the neighborhoods in need.
You tend to trust your neighborhood and your neighborhood schools more than going out to somewhere where you have to go all the way out to the Cardinal Stadium or the ASU or somewhere different.
Minority advocates say education is already a huge hurdle in disadvantaged communities, a problem only made worse by COVID-19. When kids do go back to school, they say, parents need to know the health care and resources will be available to keep everyone safe. Steve Irvin, ABC 15, Arizona.
And while most agree in-person learning is best, some districts are still finding large numbers of parents who want to remain online. In the Phoenix Union District, a recent survey showed just 22% of parents preferred a return to the classroom.